Greetings. My name is Ben, aka Downsize It, and I am joined today by Social General Rob. And for this bat rep, this is going to be you could say, a special bat rep after a fashion. I had mentioned in my first AMA about how I had only ever done one competitive Armada tournament before, and that was Gen Con in 2017 for the Nationals. And Mercier, who was a subscriber to the channel, reached out to me on Discord. I think it goes by John on Discord, or at least that was the name that he had. I mean, people change names all the time, but Mercier. And he said that he's going to be the TO for the Houston Armada tournament that is happening at the end of July. Mm-hmm. And that Karnak, who is the one who, you guys, everybody probably knows who Karnak is, who runs the Star Wars Armada Explained, is going to be the TO for the Dallas Armada tournament for the Lone Star Open. And the Lone Star Open actually is not just Armada, it's X-Wing, it's Legion, it's 140K, it's everything's going on that weekend.
The whole entire
everybody's getting back into the tournament play for that one. And for that one, I am planning on attending. That's going to be July 23rd through 25th, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll be getting there a day early, of course, because we're starting cracking on Friday. It'll be my first attempt in 4 years and only second time ever doing a competitive play. Mm-hmm. And so I want to start testing myself for the list that I'm going to bring. And Rob and Robbie, the next bat rep you guys will see, will also be one that Robbie's going to bring against me to test me. Basically, tournament ready lists. Robbie calls them try hard lists. So, although it might appear a bit redundant for you guys, at least on my end, because you're going to be seeing the same list over and over again, but I want to start doing some tournament practice, and I want you guys to basically go through this journey with me and get your thoughts and stuff on my build, on my tactics behind it, etc., as I practice and go over the strategy and tactics behind my list ahead of the Lone Star Open at the end of July. And then when that happens, when I do go, I'll try to do my best to give you guys updates, but I'll give you more details on that and what I plan to do when we get closer. We're about a month and a half out. But just today will be the first match where I bring the list that I plan to bring. When we go over the fleet submission and Rob and I talk about our fleets in specific in the pregame interview, you'll come as no surprise when I'm bringing it. But just a fair warning, this is going to be a very long pregame interview. I'm going to go into very deep detail. I'll let Rob do his first, but I'm going to go into detail in my list, in my thoughts behind it, etc. So if you don't care about that kind of thing, you can use the chapter links in the description below to skip to round one. Just want to give you that fair warning. And then another thing, just some quick housekeeping to let you know, Rob and I, when we do these practices, and the same thing will go with Robbie, I'll talk to him about this whenever we film ours, so hopefully we can get it done tomorrow. We're not going to help each other. Nope. We're going to be very, I did not see this list until I arrived, probably no advanced warnings. We're not going to help each other with strategy or tactics. We're going to try to adhere as close as we can to being quote-unquote strict to the rules and stuff. And we're narrative players, casual players, so it's kind of not natural for us.
It's difficult.
It's difficult for us.
We're filming into a film, so it's going to be a little probably a time limit.
Yeah. So. Well, no, we're not going to do a time limit. No, that's impossible. Yeah, but I think it's 2.5 hours you have to play the game. Okay, yeah. We're not going to worry about that because filming, there's no way that can happen. Try to film this in 2.5 hours. But also, it'll be like no takebacks. Like say I forget to activate my fleet command or do my Commander Vanto or whatever. I mean, no takebacks. I forgot to do it because I'm assuming that's just forget to do it. You just have to deal with it. So that's going to be me also practicing to remember to do all my beginning the round stuff that I got to do to keep my machine going so I don't forget stuff. So we're going to try to adhere as close as we can. And actually, I forgot to look it up. I'll do that at the end of the game. There's like a point spread when it comes to how you score points.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works either. Well, look, I should have looked up before we started filming. I'll look it up at the end so we can give you what the actual point spread would be at the end of the battle. Again, this is all new to us. Even though I've been to one that was 4 years ago, I forgot pretty much everything. That's not what I normally do. But that's why we're practicing, or I say why I'm practicing, and why Social General Rob and Robbie being gracious enough to be test subjects to bring the hardest list they can against me. So we'll go over that in more detail in the pregame interview. Like I said, that's going to be an extended pregame interview, just a fair warning. And without further ado, we'll get right to the fleets and the mission. And then after that, you'll see our deployment while Rob and I discuss in detail. Me especially, I'm going to really deep dive into my fleet, etc. And you'll see that there. So coming up next, fleets and mission. Okay, so for my Imperial tournament list that I plan on bringing, I have Grand Admiral Thrawn on an Imperial 2 Star Destroyer with the Chimera title, Commander Vanto, Local Fire Control, Flat Guns, Advanced Projectors, Leading Shots, XI-7 Turbo Lasers, and the Entrapment Formation Fleet Command to start. Then a Quasar Fire 1 with Commander Woldar and the Pursuant title, Flight Controllers, Boosted Comms, and Disposable Capacitors. And for my squadrons, I have Colonel Jendon and Merrick Steele, the dynamic duo, with Tempest Squadron and 5 TIE Defender Squadrons. For the Separatists, we have General Grievous on a Providence carrier, with Rune Hako, Intensify Firepower, and Reserve Hangar Deck, a Recusant Support Destroyer with Shu Mai and Reserve Hangar Deck, and a Munificent Comms Frigate with the Sad Nalor title, TI-99, Fighter Coordination Team, and Hyperwave Signal Boost. For Separatist Squadrons, we have the Flak Afrock Prototype, Hyena Droid Bomber Squadron, and 6 Vulture Droid Fighter Squadrons. For this mission, Rob, his fleet, came in under points, and he chose to be second player. So I had to choose from his missions, and they were Surprise Attack, Asteroid Tactics, and Minefields. And I chose to go with Minefields, so Rob will place all the obstacles, and he can place them even within deployment zones, but they have to be distance 5 away from each other. Then he places 6 objective tokens, which will be the mines. They have to be at distance 1 of an obstacle and beyond distance 1 from other objective tokens. And if a ship ends its movement at distance 1, then the opponent rolls 2 blue dice, and any hit is damaged directly to the hull, with crits being face up. Coming up next, Rob and I will discuss our strategy and tactics, myself going in depth with my fleet and my tactics, as you watch our deployment in the pre-game interview. Okay, so now that you've seen the fleets and the mission, you're going to see Rob and I deploying here. Just going to go over again the mission. I chose to go with minefields primarily. Well, I guess first I should say Rob had the choice because he came in under points. And I'll talk about the overall strategy of my fleet build when it comes to like points and stuff like that when I talk about my fleet. But I had to choose between his 3 missions. And minefields actually was the least damaging. With the set of how minefields work, yes, you could dictate, where the minefields are laid, almost dictating where I deployed. But where I deploy with this fleet is going to be dictated anyway every game, because I'm going to be massively outnumbered when it comes to deployment advantage. Even though I have squads that can help mitigate that, I think I'll be, as like you've seen this one, there's lots of squads to help counter that, and it's just something I'm just accepting as I go to this tournament, that I am either going to be playing in either corner, no matter what. And so fortunate with minefields and the way that Rob deployed his mines, I was able to pick a corner and to be able to avoid the mines and not have to worry about them. And after that, I don't have to worry about it. The mission, and then it's just straight up, it's just the mission, fleet versus fleet. Whereas asteroid tactics have to deal with exogorths and all that nonsense. And surprise attack. Surprise attack is a very difficult mission. I don't anticipate it ever being picked. But, and again, I'll talk about this more when I talk about my fleet. I think Thrawn is the perfect counter to that. If I ever get like a yellow and blue mission that I have to pick that are really terrible, surprise attack would help mitigate that.
Yeah.
because I have Thrawn. And I'll go into more detail on that when I talk about my fleet. First, I want Rob to talk about your fleet, where you got it, your strategy, how you're going to use it for this game, and then I'll go over I have a whole slew of stuff to talk about mine. So.
Well, first of all, I'd say, sorry that I've been out of contact for a while. Real life happens and things like that, so...
Yeah, he has not been ghosting. He hasn't been ignoring you in the comment sections on purpose.
I've been trying to catch up, actually, and you see me talk here and there, and you're like, well, I talked to that one, but what about this one? Yeah. So I've been trying to catch up, so don't worry, I'll catch up. It's just life happens. Yeah. Just been busy. So anyways, first of all, the fleet. I got this, now Ben asked, he said, really, I want you to bring a tough, he said cheesy fleet. Mm-hmm. This is not a cheesy fleet. I don't think my eyes made that.
No, I don't think so.
No, but he said, whatever you want, just bring it. And I was like, okay. And we both agreed that I would not be nice to him. That's another big announcement, guys. I cannot be nice. And say, oh, you flipped your LTTs. Don't you want to do that? Oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, crap, this is my guy. You guys did. No, won't be doing that. So, where I got this, I actually did not create it on my own. This was done on Irish Mad Cat's channel, between 1,000 Eyes versus Real Veers. And they are both tournament competitors, and they're very, very top-notch competitors. These lists were created for them by two other channels, which I'm sure I'm not on the top of my head, but I'm sure Ben will put them down linked in below there.
If you remind me to text them.
I will do that. I'll remind you, don't and they were, so I forget, one was the champion from Vassal, one was the champion from Tabletop Simulator. And so they went against each other. It was really an interesting thing, and you can always look it up on Irish Mad Cat's channel. It's an interesting mission. Battle. So, I took the idea from 1,000 Eyes. I liked it because I wanted to play Separatists. Then wanted me to play a group, and I thought, well, I could do Republic, but no, I want to play Separatists. I think I'm falling more in love with Separatists than I am Republics. But so I looked at it, and I really liked the way it looked. The only thing I changed were the missions. That is the only thing I changed, because I was not familiar with the missions that they had chosen, that they had. So the missions I chose, which is probably going to be what Ben will talk about later, but I chose ones where I wanted to know where his fleet was going to be before I put mine down. And so when he chose this one, he said, oh yeah, the mine's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's fine by me, that's not what matters. It matters where you are, so I can know where to place mine stuff. And that was my whole tactic with the missions, was every single one. Even surprise attack would force you to put your ship in a certain area.
Yes, that'd actually be the most damaging as far as ship placement, because I would be forced to place the station. Mm-hmm. Then I would have to place the Chimera on the station, so you would know precisely where to play. Yep. So that would be a second major downfall to taking surprise attack. Surprise attack is just a tough mission. You probably never want to pick it ever. Right. Probably be 1% out of 100 where you would ever want to pick that over the yellow and blue missions. That's just such a rare scenario. But just that you have such a disadvantage.
So I wanted to pick it. Right?
So surprise attack is there for your opponent not to pick, to force him to pick, basically force him to pick the yellow and blue missions. Yeah. That's what surprise attack is there for.
Now I thought he actually was going to pick, because he never picks minefields. I've always had minefields on my list. He never picks it. And I thought, oh, okay, so he's not going to pick that one, but I'll put it on there. And I thought, wait a minute, I can still dictate where he's going to go, because I can do all the obstacles, all the mines, and all that stuff. Cool. I thought he was going to pick Asteroid Tactics, which is the other one I had on my list. And he decided not to. That would also make him place all his units down first, and then I would put down mine afterwards.
That's not necessarily. You get to place, I think, the obstacles. We still alternate deployment. Okay. The problem with Asteroid Tactics for me is the Exogors, where I don't want to have to worry about placing my defenders and having to figure out that's where Exogors are going to be. That's right. So I didn't want to deal with Exogors on the table, because defenders are going to be a key part of my play, and I didn't want them to be restricted. And that's why I didn't pick them.
And asteroids don't hurt me. None of them absolutely.
Yeah, you can just run over asteroids, no problem.
Exegorth, I think, still too. I'm not sure, but
Exegorth will still hurt you.
Yeah, Exegorth.
Yeah, that would give you an advantage in just being able to run over and not have to worry about maneuvering.
Yeah.
You know, so that was another reason why I didn't pick that one.
That was why I did pick that one. So he said, play, make it tough. And you guys have said on the channel, don't be so nice to Ben, stop it. So here I am, not being so nice to Ben. There's a few new cards that I'll be playing that I'm not used to, so I'm going to have to be learning them as I go. Ben will not be helping me because, like you said earlier, we're not helping each other. I say, Ben, I'm going to go turn this way, turn that way, whatever. I'm going to go this distance. He's going to do it. Even though he says, well, Rob, you can actually probably do something a little bit better this way, or you can't turn that way. He's going to do it. And if it's a legal move, he's going to say it's illegal, and that's it. It's going to be like a real ref, in certain terms.
Well, so not that strict. Like if you're about to make an illegal move, it's one of those where there is an expectation between both players when you're playing at a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's even stated in like the tournament rules where you are responsible to make sure your opponent doesn't blatantly break the rules.
Well, okay.
So I think there's that. Like you could even be penalized if you willingly let your opponent break the rules and then you're caught doing it. And I think there's something like that. So I even when I go,
right.
I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm gonna if I see him about to make an illegal move, I'm like, hey, hang on, that's probably an illegal move. You might want to. I'm still going to be a sportsman, type of thing. But as far as like if I see you're going to make a strategically bad play, I'm not going to stop you. A lot of times off screen, you guys will see sometimes Rob's about to do something. Say, hey, Rob, you sure you want to do that? Maybe if you go this way.
Or you said, you sure you want to do that?
I'm sure you want to do that.
Lately, it's been, are you sure you want to do that? You didn't say anything else. Are you sure you want to do that?
I'm not going to be doing that. But if you're about to blatantly break the rules just for doing an illegal move or something, just even unknowingly, then yes, I'll make sure we don't do that.
Like if I do a maneuver across the tool, right?
Yeah. But no strategic help will be had in these games on either side.
And if I forget something, I forget something. I'm thinking this is tough as I can be, as I'm doing him.
Yeah.
He's gonna be tougher on himself. I know that. But I'm taking all the lessons Ben has taught me over these past months and so on. You're worried since we started doing this, and I'm applying them all. So it's like, okay, if I say turn that way, I'm turning that way, and that's it. I do, unless it's like you said, the sportsmanship type thing. But no, I'm not gonna be nice and say, hey Ben, you forgot something.
So what's the strategy behind this fleet?
The strategy is actually to. So when he said he didn't know what fleet he was bringing, what I had for my fleet, he told me outright, I'm going to bring this fleet because this is what I'm going to bring to the tournament. Yep. So I was like, okay, design around the Thrawn fleet.
Yep. And I'm also letting Robbie know exactly what I'm bringing. I want to make sure I'm at the maximum disadvantage when I'm practicing, because that'll help me when I'm actually in the moment. Kind of like when baseball players, when they practice swing, they put those weights on the bat.
Yes.
So when they're actually at the plate, the bat slider, I want to make sure I'm actually playing at a disadvantage while I'm practicing.
Right. And then, I can't speak for Robbie, but I'm not a tournament player. And I've only been doing this.
He's not either.
No,
He prefers that's what he calls it, a try-hard list. It's a try-hard list.
Right. So that's basically what I'll be taking everything I know and trying to put it to good work. Like I said, I watched on Irish Mad Cat's channel this list work, and so I learned a lot from them as well. So we'll be saying how I do. Hopefully, Irish Mad Cat, I do not mess up like the last one I did. Anyways, it's going to be. It's kind of hard at the moment to tell you because it really depends on where he moves. I'm going to be reacting to him, and he's got two of the ships that, not ships, but squads that I didn't think of, was the Tempest Squad and your Lambda shuttle, who is
Colonel Jennings. Yeah, that's just that. Those of you that are familiar with Armada and have followed me for years, that's a dynamic duo, Batman and Robin. You call it. It's Merrick Steele and Colonel Jennings. Basically, lets Merrick Steele do his thing twice. So that's been going ever since those two cards existed.
You and I started.
Well, ours started, but just Armada here. When those cards first came on the table, people were using that just in general, but in tournament play, no one will be surprised that those two are here on the combo, especially since I love defenders. So
So I assume he's only bringing 6 defenders, right?
What is? So yeah, 5 defenders in there, so that's 6 defenders.
Yes.
Plus a couple help.
Right,
Couple
yeah,
help.
so, yeah. But that's okay. But I'm using Grievous. So I'm going to be using Grievous' ability, which means, look, droid, look, vultures, go attack that. Oh, got killed. By the way, Magnificent, why don't you flip that exhausted brace over and put it back to ready? And Ben's like, wait, shoot. And I mean, I'm going to try to play it where I'm going to try to. The Chimera is going to be hard to take down. Dennis said it's not, but it's going to be hard. I do not have a lot of upgrades on these ships. Okay?
But you have an insane. You outgun me by a lot, so I can't be reckless.
I have really great memory.
Yeah. Even though they're light, your 3 ships together outgun me probably maybe 3 to 1, at least 2.5 to 1. So I have to be very careful.
So but I keep reminding myself that too. And then with my droid squadrons, I remember as I looked down at the list was that TI-99 gives everybody counter 3 unless you already have counter and gives you +1 counter. So I was like, if they're not engaged or activated, but
if they're not activated, basically if I come at you while they're in range of your Munificent, you're gonna be able to shoot them back with counter 3. So that counter 2 actually. Counter 3. No, you're right. Yeah. Counter 3. Even your they're all gonna.
Yeah, even the Hyena bomber. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically I have to make When I choose to engage your vultures, I'll be able to kill them like chaff. Defenders will eat them for lunch, but I'm gonna pay for it. So you're gonna be able to.
You are.
So it's
exactly, and that's what I really was happy about this list. I'm really drawn to it. Plus, it has reserved hangar decks, something I never used before, and they all have swarm, except the Hyena. So. One might be blown away like chaff, but it might come back again too.
You're gonna do it twice. You got 2 reserve hangar decks.
I got 2 reserves. I do it twice. But so I'm pretty pleasant. I'm really happy with this fleet so far. So that's my aim, is just basically try to take down either your fighters or even the carrier, and hopefully Thrawn himself. Most likely, the one I really want to push.
Okay, so first I'm going to talk overall. This is not going to be related to this game in particular. I'm going to go over the basics of my fleet and the foundations of how I designed it and put it together. Some of you might be thinking, wow, that's not, I'm broadcasting this to the world, whoever wants to watch, exactly what my strategy and tactics are. But I'm not going to the LSO with expectations of winning it. I know that I don't have experience in competitive play. My realistic goal is to make it into the top 16 so I can play this every day.
Right.
But what I want this to be is an experience and a journey between myself and you guys as you practice and learn tournament play, etc. And as I hone my fleet. So I am going to be basically revealing what my fleet is going to be, the missions I'm going to be picking and bringing, and my overall tactics that I'm going to use. And if any of you guys are going to be there at the LSO, this is a great opportunity to know your enemy. The first doctrine of war is know your enemy. So I'm just letting you, I'm not even making it a secret. So as you guys saw as I went over the quick version of the fleets and mission like I normally do, this is my standard Thrawn build. And I have no idea if this is competitive, if this will be valid in a competitive mindset, but I figured if I'm going to be going to my first competitive scene in 4 years, my second time ever, probably only my 5th time in any gaming period, I'm going to bring what I like, and bring what I love, and bring what I know the best, that I know heart and soul down to my core. So first let's talk about the flagship itself, and starting with the commander, Thrawn. Obviously I'm bringing Thrawn, he's my favorite. I think he's the best commander in the game, and that is with my bias. I think even objectively, I would say he's probably the second best commander in the game, and I would put Sloane above him. And that's all commanders. That's no matter what faction. Thrawn and Sloane are 1 and 2 above all commanders in the game, and that's just my objective opinion, not just my biased opinion. One thing that I love about Thrawn, the primary thing I love about Thrawn, is his ability that you will get 3 turns in the game, that your entire fleet will get a command, no matter what. And some people, when they've looked at Thrawn, they think, now, he seems maybe complicated. What do I do with the Thrawn dials and etc.? And I actually talked about with Rob a couple months ago. It's like, actually, Thrawn's actually a very simple commander. When you're putting your fleet together and designing your force, and then you see your opponent, all you have to think about is, for 3 turns, what command do I want? And pick those. That's it. It's very simple. Because no matter what your opponent does, you will get that command. The reason being, your opponent can't touch the Thrawn dials, and he can rage you to death. It does not matter. Because you just reveal the command on the ship itself, discard that command, get rid of the raids, and then you get the Thrawn dial.
Right.
So that's the power of Thrawn, that for 3 turns out of a battle, and for most battles, 3 turns are the main turns. It's a 6-turn game,
right?
But most battles I played, it's 3 turns that determine the game. So for 3 turns, you'll get to do whatever you want.
Yeah, because the first 2 turns definitely is usually
just maneuvering.
Close and get it out.
Yeah, it's basically like 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6 are the key turns.
Yep.
And with the Thrawn dials, you can guarantee that your fleet's doing that. Yep. Of course, Thrawn has to be alive. That's the way you stop Thrawn. You just kill Thrawn.
Yeah,
but
that's
everybody. You just kill their commander and he's done.
Right.
But other than that, the Thrawn dials, the reason why I think he's so strong is that it guarantees that your entire fleet will get to do the commands you want, no matter what your opponent does. They cannot stop it in any way, shape, or form. That's why I love Thrawn. So, moving on from that, as I continue to build out, I really like my thematic builds. In my Thrawn build, I like keeping it themed. So, of course, I have the Chimera.
Right.
And I love the Chimera title because it gives a fleet command upgrade. And I'm taking an ISD-2. Now, those of you that are really in-depth into the lore know that the Chimera was not an ISD-2, it was an ISD-1. The ISD-2 hadn't been invented yet. But in my own headcanon, the Kuat refit, Messiah Moon had existed, they were refits. So basically, my headcanon is the reason why I have an ISD-2 on the Chimera is that it's like the first ISD-2. Or it's an ISD-2 prototype, so that's how I justify it, my OCD. Anyway, ISD-2 is my favorite ship, I'm bringing it, I don't care.
Right.
But that's how I justify my thematic version of it. But I love fleet commands, love fleet commands. Even if you're only having 2 ships like I have right now, fleet commands can be, I just love having the ability to affect my entire fleet to do something to give them additional options.
Right.
And Chimera is the master of that because having Chimera means I now have access to every single fleet command in the game that is not faction specific. Right. Like some of the new ones that are faction specific for the Republic and Separatists I can't use, of course.
No Jedi hostage?
No. Now, even though I get access to all fleet commands, I only bring 3. I'm only going to be bring 3 to the table because I will never use, I don't even know what it's called, shields to maximum. That's diminishing returns, not worth it. And I will never use all fighters follow me because I don't need it. My defenders move a speed 5 anyway. And Colonel Shannon and Tempest, they'll be able to do whatever. My primary fighters that I'm bringing, I don't need speed boosts.
Nope.
So the 3 I bring are intensified firepower, entrapment formation, and take evasive action. My 2 favorites and the ones I primarily use all the time is entrapment formation and take evasive action because that gives maximum maneuver potential to my fleet. Whether it's doing massive speed adjustments or giving maximum maneuverability to my ships whenever I need it.
Right.
And I can swap those out at the start of every turn based on what I want. It just requires 1 turn advanced planning to make sure I have the right token I need.
Right.
And the person that gives me that is Commander Vonto, the Watson to Thrawn's Sherlock. And I love how they designed Thrawn, Chimera, and Vonto. When they came out with those cards, they all actually work well together, almost like they're meant to be played together. Yeah. So how Vonto works is when I execute my first command on the Chimera, I get to tap and gain a token that I want. And basically, I'm just thinking ahead. What tokens do I need? It's either going to be Navigate or Confire, because those are only the fleet commands I need. Vonto is there purely as a fleet command factory to make sure I always have the command token I need. I'm planning ahead. And usually, most of the time, because I usually play nav dials all the time on the ships anyway, I'm getting nav tokens from them, getting Confire tokens from Vonto, I will always have both options. At the start of every round, I'll most likely have a Confire token and a nav token, and then I can choose. Do I want to intensify firepower here? Or do I want to use my 2 navigate fleet commands based on what I need? Do I want to do mass speed adjustments, more maneuverability, etc.? So I love that mass flexibility to, on the fly, no matter who I'm facing, no matter what mission we're playing, I will always have that ability to adjust on the fly. So that's the core of my build with Chimera and just for the fleet in general, for the entire fleet structure. Next, moving on through the build, I loved local fire control every time it came out. And the reason why I picked local fire control over, say, something like gunnery teams or another weapons team is because I only have a 2-ship build here. And usually when I run my standard Thrawn build, I have low ships anyway because I think it's 193 points for the Chimera. That's almost half of the entire fleet. I want to increase the firepower potential of my Star Destroyer. So doing local fire control, I then can swap out and get a salvo. And then to boost that with a new upgrade that just came out, flat guns, I can now salvo with my 2 blue and 1 red on the Star Destroyer at long range, which really makes it to where it just adds more firepower, and it really makes my opponent think, do I really want to make this attack against the Chimera? Especially with the small ships. There's a CR-90 or a hammerhead or like a hard cell or some small ship that's wanting to snipe me at range, but they've already taken maybe some damage, maybe from my defenders, and they know, wait, if I take this shot, I'm going to be salved back with 3 dice. This Chimera has leading shot, so he can reroll if he needs to, and it could really potentially, I might die from the return attack. So that also, it helps us deter against small ships, but also helps just to add more firepower when the big ships are hitting me. That way I can hit them back, and then on my turn, then I can give them my big front guns. So it just helps add to the firepower to the Chimera, which is why I took flat guns, local fire control combo. The replacing of my 2 blue flak dice to 2 black flak dice, that's a whatever, great. I'm hoping I'm not having to flak. If I'm having to flak, that means my defenders have failed me, and I'm probably losing the game anyway. Moving on to defensive, advanced projectors is so key. I know that electronic countermeasures could be vital and good, but I think advanced projectors helps me more on a Star Destroyer because of the ability. 1, I get 2 redirects, and most likely I'm swapping out my contain for the salvo, because the redirects with advanced projectors allows me to disperse damage across my entire ship. They almost act like pseudo braces, so it's basically almost gives me 3 braces, sort of. Just helps to enhance the survivability of the Chimera. Then for the primary firepower, leading shots, my favorite ion upgrade, mainly just so I can have maximum dice mitigation at leading range. And then XI7s. So I don't even have to worry about if my opponent has redirects. I don't care if you redirect 1, you're taking the rest of it in your face. My accuracies can go other places. I think leading shots XI7s, that's been a combo since the beginning. I think it's still a fantastic combo, and that's what I love having on it. And it's basically it's just maximizing firepower pinpointed where I want it to go, which is why I have that. So, like I said, that's 193 points of my fleet. That's half. It's a Christmas tree, and it's also the primary target, so I have to be very careful when I deploy, when I maneuver, to not put the Chimera in too much danger, to allow my opponent to, because it will drop when it's under concentrated fire. Now, the support ship is a Quasar, which is one of my other favorite ships in the game. The best pure carrier in the game as far as I'm concerned. And this one's designed purely to maximize the effectiveness of my defenders. Commander Woldar gives rerolls to non-swarm ships. Defenders don't have swarms, so he's great to just further maximize the firepower of my defenders. Flight controllers make sure that when I activate with my Quasar, my defenders are getting 3 blue and 2 black on their attacks. That is absolutely insane. That'll melt most ships, or most squads, I mean. Especially 2 defenders can kill just about any squad in the game with that. The boosted comms is to make sure that I can activate at range, because my Quasar will die to a stiff breeze. And so I want to make sure I can actually activate at a distance from safety. And then the last 2 upgrades I put on there is mainly so I get up to 400 points. because I'm OCD like that, and I don't want to do a bid going into this scenario because one, again, my OCD, and two, I know there's going to be people that are bidding like 10, 12, 15 point bids or more, so why am I wasting points on a 5 point bid when it's not going to matter anyway? Might as well just maximize my points. So it's one of those, I'll just talk about this now. I know I'm going in with maximum 400 points, and I'm going into this tournament with the full understanding that I will never have the choice of picking first or second player unless I meet someone else that's also 400, we roll off and I get lucky.
Right.
So I just go to the understanding that I'm never going to have the choice. I'll either be first player or second player on the whim of my opponent. So I need to be prepared with my strategies for being first player and be prepared with my strategies for being second, and knowing that I will never have that choice. I'm just mentally preparing myself for that. So getting to the final upgrades, the disposable capacitors is just in case I want to throw a long-range shot with my Quasar to help supplement the Chimera's firepower. The title, though, is very important, Pursuant, because it allows me to have a fourth turn of almost guaranteed squadron commands from my Quasar. So once I've exhausted my three, by the way, just an overall strategy, I'm letting you guys know and letting anyone that's going to face me that watches this know, my 3 Thrawn dials will be squad commands. That will never change, ever, no matter who I'm facing. That will always be squadron commands. And it's one of those I don't care if you know, because you can't stop it. Now, the reason why Pursuit's so important is that if I need a fourth turn where I really want to make sure squad commands are going off, is that I can reveal my dial in Pursuant and then discard that dial, discard Pursuant, and it acts as if I did a squad command.
Nice.
So it allows me to basically get a fourth turn of Pursuant commanding my defenders, in case I need it. So I like that having that as a stopgap. So now let's move on to the actual squadrons. Now this is actually, a very large part of my strategy. The Chimera is one big one because it's my primary force of firepower. It's an ISD-2. That's where I'm going to get my most brute force. But my defenders are multi-role fighters. They're bombers and fighters. And they're really good at dropping squads, and they're okay at attacking ships, but they're still good.
Right.
So 5 defenders. 4 of them will be commanded by Pursuant. Then I have the extra defender, Merrick Steele, Tempest, and Colonel Jendon. Jendon, of course, is combined with Merrick Steele, so he activates twice every round. He'll be commanded by the Chimera. Tempest also will be commanded by Chimera, most likely, because I want to maximize the flight controllers on my defenders. And then the Spear Defender just by Chimera, just because that's what's left over. Basically, this is a full synergistic build where all 8 squads will be able to evenly be commanded by both of my ships. Tempest is there to act as basically it's going to be like a 1 turn or even a half turn stopgap where they have to attack Tempest first before they can get to my defenders. Defenders are hard to kill anyway, but I'd much rather them have to go through another squad first before even be able to touch my defenders, so my defenders can still roam free and do their thing. I will be relying on my defenders and Tempest, as long as it's alive, to do bombing runs on ships to help supplement the firepower of the Chimera. I don't have Bomber Command, but just with black dice and blue dice where crits matter on my defenders, the odds are I'll still be able to get some point damage here and there to help whittle it down enough to where then I can set up the shot with the Chimera to blow it away. And the idea is for me with Chimera, especially with my maneuvering with take evasive action, to always be able to set up the double arc so I can get the side and front. And if I'm facing a squad heavy list like I am today, as I said before, my defenders will be able to melt his squads, no problem. I'm not worried about that. The only concern I have is with the TI-99, his counter 3 back, I'm going to pay for it. So I'm going to have to try to catch him off guard, like maybe if the squad's out of range of TI-99 or whatever, to try to drop them, or just take the hits. Get them out of the way early and fast, and then they'll be free to do the bombing runs, no problem. Because realistically, with with even just 4 defenders doing the 3 blue, 2 black with a Commander Woldar reroll, that's dropping a Vulture Droid 1 for 1. And he won't be able to kill a defender with 3 back because they have 6 health. So worst case scenario, I drop a Vulture Droid and the defender goes to 3. That's worst case scenario. Right. I should not have to dedicate 2 defenders to 1 Vulture Droid. And I can even, once it gets to that point, that the flak off rock is going to be a problem because he does damage that I'm just near him. But I think even though he has a scatter, 1 round of 2. If I get lucky with accuracies, maybe 3, I can drop the AFROC in 1 turn as well. So, and that's the thing I love about the defenders. They're so fast. I can even place them behind my ships if I need be. If I have a really dangerous squad presence I'm facing, and just hold, because they're speed fighting, and then just jump across and attack at will. I can use them as stopgaps against bombers, just let them hit the defenders because they have 6 health, so they can't get to my ships. I love the versatility of the defenders to defend, attack ships, and attack squads. And I love defenders anyway because, again, thematically, Thrawn designed them. They're his brainchild with the new canon, with Rebels, etc. So it all fits in with the theme. So if I haven't bored you guys to death yet, I think Rob is getting bored. I can see him dozing off over here. This is the overall strategy that I have for my fleet.
Yep.
Now I'm going to be bringing in, and as I face each force, this one in particular is going to be, I'm going to try to engage his ships one at a time and maneuver to the point to where he can't attack me with more than 2 ships. Ideally 1, but realistically 2 ships at a time, and I can hopefully drop his ships piecemeal before he can focus me down with all 3, because then the Chimera will drop fast. I will not be going into this full detail that I just did, the review. This will be like my full review of my fleet, etc. when I do my future training videos, you could say. I just want to get that all out in the open now to let you guys know what my strategy and tactics are. And I'm interested to know your guys' thoughts. I will be fully straightforward with you guys. This is probably not changing. I welcome all of your suggestions and your comments on maybe my fleet building and adjustments. But I've been going over this for actually about 6 weeks now. That's when Mercier, about 6 weeks ago, when Mercier let me know about the LSO. And when I decided that, I was like, I think I'll do it. So I'm probably not going to be changing the composition of my fleet. There is a possibility that maybe if someone comes up with a really great suggestion to keep it within the thematic of how I like it, that I might change an upgrade here or there, or make an adjustment. But I just want to be straight up with you guys that I'm probably not going to change it, but what I am willing to hear about is tournament play strategy and tactics, thoughts you have on my fleet, specifically on how to play it, what you would recommend on how to deploy it, etc. Like I said earlier, I have an extreme disadvantage when it comes to deployment. So pretty much every game, unless I'm forced to, I'm going to be picking a corner to be my opponent in front of me. I will never deploy in the middle unless I'm forced to, and I will try my best never to pick a mission that'll force me to do that. Because as long as I stay in the corner and keep my opponent in front of me, that will help negate the fact that I only have 2 ships and getting surrounded from like MSU fleets, etc. The other thing, my missions. This is also something that is open. This is one that I'm willing to get your suggestions on that I will change. Is the mission selection. So right now, the missions that I pick, in case someone ever wants to let me be second, because like I said, I'll probably never have the choice. One is advanced gunnery. That's like surprise attack. Basically, put that there for someone to pick something else. No one's ever picking that. Unless they have like an Akbar fleet, and they're like, oh great, I'll take Akbar with advanced gunnery as first player. But then I'll be like, that's great, I get Chimera with advanced gunnery, and I get to shoot you twice. So I don't think anyone's picking that. Someone might. They might.
I learned once.
But
I learned once, way back when.
But if that happens, great, fantastic. The other one is Solar Corona, and it's either going to be Solar Corona Superior Positions, because those both help me out massively, because that lets me watch them deploy first, and then I get to deploy, and it lets me completely negate my deployment disadvantage. Initially, the reason why I'm going with Solar Corona over Superior Positions, even though Superior Positions could give me victory tokens and give them to my opponent, Solar Corona, after my opponent deploys, I can basically put my back to the Corona and never face it. And that will give a massive disadvantage to my opponent when they're attacking me, having to get rid of accuracies, which will make sure that not make sure, but give more chances that my braces will be available, my redirects will be available, my saw will be available. So I think that's why I would like that over Superior Positions. And then the yellow one, that was the one that I had the hardest time deciding on. And again, all of these I want to talk with you guys what you think might be best to use. But the yellow one is one I'm most open to change. Right now it's Planetary Ion Cannon. Primarily, one, it adds to my fleet's firepower. I'll get 3 shots in the game to roll a free attack at an enemy ship when they get in range of the objective token. That adds more to my firepower to eliminate the fleet. And it provides no advantage whatsoever to the opponent. So right now, I think that's why I'm going to stick with Advanced Gunnery, Planetary Ion Cannon, and Solar Corona. But we still got a little bit over a month, and these are the parts of my fleet build and my tactics going into it that I'm most willing and open to change and discuss. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think the best missions for me to take. And I'm not gonna be like, so these are the missions I've taken, and when I show up, I've changed them or whatever. I'm not gonna be that. I'm being very open about this, and I'm not gonna change my fleet and just only change it last minute when I show up. It's like, surprise everybody. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, he's playing protocol, son.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. This is what I'm bringing. I'm going to be very open about it because this isn't about. Again, I have no illusions of winning the thing outright. Even though that'd be awesome, I want to strive to victory.
This is you're challenging yourself, correct?
I'm testing myself, challenging myself, and I also want to go through this journey with you guys in exploring tournament play and how tournament play works and the fleets that are brought in, etc., like that. So that's why I'm not being secretive. That's why I'm being open about this and everything. So, after all that has been said, I know you guys are probably ready for the match. If you've been ready, you've probably already skipped to round 1, and the link's below. So,
if I make one quick thing there, Ben, along with Ben saying about picking missions and stuff like that, if you have a fleet that you think that you want to run against Thrawn, Ben's fleet, okay, send a description, okay. Now, I'm not sure if you want sent to you or not, Ben. That's something that
so this is actually I did forget to mention that. We talked about this.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. And I'll be sure to do this at the end of the video too, so that they remind us. Fleet submissions, that's a normal thing that we like to do.
Right.
I would love it if you guys want to submit fleets to Rob or Robbie. And I'll ask Robbie first, but I'll put Social General Rob's. Well, you give me an email. To email him tournament fleets. Like if say you're going to a tournament or you've seen a tournament fleet, the most outrageous, cheesy, overpowered tournament fleets you can think of,
right?
To pit against me for my practice. Yes. And submit them to Robbie or Rob, and I'll talk to Robbie about that tomorrow when I see him, and just so I can practice with it. And I would love, like I said, this weekend. We'll be seeing 2 of it today, and then Robbie tomorrow. I'm going to be playing. And then I would like to get at least 2 or 3 more of these in. Maybe more. It will mean that you guys are going to see a lot of repetitive on my side, but this is, I think this could be interesting as I'm building up, preparing for tournament practice. You guys submitting tournament builds.
Yes.
Try to go against my Thrawn build that I'm going to be bringing, so I can test myself against it. So, we'll have at least Social General Rob's contact info in the description below. And don't send it to me because I want it to be where when I show up to play, when we get set up, it's my first time seeing the fleet, so I haven't been able to think of strategies the days leading up to it of how I might counter it. I have to do it in the moment. So submit those to Social General Rob, and when you guys watch the video, that'll probably release in a couple days. What I'm doing with Robbie, once I have confirmation from him, he's okay with that or whatever. You might just submit lists to Rob for Robbie, and then because he has Robbie's contact information.
Yeah.
So, because Robbie doesn't like that's why you've never seen Robbie's face. He just wants to remain more anonymous. So he might not want to give his stuff out. But anyway, submit those lists that you guys want to Rob's contact info that will be in the description below to test my Thrawn tournament build in preparation for the LXO. So all that ado, out of the way. We're ready to play. It was a very long...
that was only about an hour or 2.
Yeah, very long pre-game. So, we'll be coming up next. We'll plan our dials, and then it'll be the start of round 1. Okay, the start of round 1. I am maintaining entrapment formation as my fleet command. It is not activated, but I have not swapped it out yet. Some pre-game stuff for Rob. Rune Hako, starting with 2 concentrate fire tokens. Shumai, her turns are 3 and 5. That'll be on the Recusant when he gets to do the rerolls with Shumai's ability. I am first player, and I am outnumbered 3-2, but since I'm first player, that subtracts 1 from the past tokens I would get, so no past tokens for myself or for Rob. Okay, so first we're going to start with Thrawn, the Chimera. It is an engineering dial, taking a token, and then using Vanto after that happens to give me a navigate token. And just moving forward at speed 1, I guess I should have said this, all my fleet is starting at speed 1. Rob's Munificent and Rickson are at speed 1, his Providence is at speed 2. So now, most of the time, again, just to keep it simple, my commands, at least at the start, are going to be engineering the navs afterward. I do the engineering to take a token, so that later in the game, I can play an engineering dial to get maximum engineering efficiency. For a significant repair, I need to keep my ships alive just one turn or attack longer, that sort of thing. Then the navs, always be navving is the key to. I will never confire ever, and it will always be navs, and then just using the Thrawn dials for these squadrons. So I have maximum maneuverability with my fleet.
Okay, the Providence is up first, and it's a navigation dial. I'll be using it. I sped up to 3. I did my normal turn at 1 to the port side, and I took the dial. I took the extra click at the 3, going back towards the starboard. Just right back up.
For my pursuant, to navigate, I lined it a little bit off. I misjudged on how far my Chimera would move, so already making a mistake. I'm going to use my navigate to go down to 0. I don't feel like giving myself a damage cards on both my ships yet, so. But it's a safe place to stall at this point. I'm not in any danger, so I'm going to go ahead and stall and just go down.
Next up is a Recreant. And I have a navigation dial, which I am using to go up to speed 2. And I've taken the click at the 1, which is normal. And then the click at the 2, which, right, the Magnificent is up next. And it's navigation dial again. But this time I'm taking the token. I'm staying at speed 1, I'm going straight forward. And that'll be it.
Okay, next will be squadron phase. As normal, this one thing I'm not going to change. When it's just movement, we're going to do that off screen and I'll show you where they go, just to save time. That'll take forever, trying to do all the squads and filming them, etc. So, I'll show you where the squads have gone at the start of round 2. Start of round 2. I have kept an entrapment formation and have activated it. This is where my squads went, mainly just staying close to their command ships. Merrick Steele's at the top left, Jendon in the middle, Tempest on the far right, keeping him closest to the enemy squads, and the enemy squads just moved up slightly, also staying in formation next to their ships. Okay, starting with Chimera, it is a navigate. I'll be using that along with entrapment formation to speed up to speed 3. Just taking a click at the end here. And then I'll be using Vanto to give myself a navigate token.
Okay, now we're up to the Providence. With engineering dial, I took the token, and I'm staying at 3, only clicking at the 1, going to the port side.
Okay, now with the Pursuant, it is a navigate using the dial and entrapment to speed up from 0 to 2. I'm just taking a slight click at the end here, staying outside of range of that mine. Can't quite see, but that is outside distance 1. So I'm just skirting the edges of this mine.
Okay, now to the Recreant. It is it's a concentrate fire dial. I take the token, and I'm still moving at speed 2. I click at the 1 and 2. So I'm going to start, and I come very close with that precision flying.
Very close.
Good GPS in this thing. Okay, the Magnificent's up. It's a concentrate fire dial. I take the token. And I'm going speed 1, and I'm going just straight.
Okay, as last time, guys, do the squad phase off screen. Although he does have hyperwave signal boost, Rob could do move and shooting, but even if you wanted to, he's not going to be in range. And if I'm careless and move myself in range and Rob wants to jump out and get me, I'll turn the camera back on. Other than that, we'll be back at the start of round 3 where I'll give you that recap. Start of round 3. I have swapped out to take evasive action and have activated it. Shumai activates on round 3, but the Recusant isn't going to have any shots this round. So, unfortunately, no Shumai for round 3. This is where the squads moved on my side. Merrick's at the top left there, along with Tempest. You can see Jendon. And you see the Frock some vulture droids and the hyena bomber with some other vulture droids also moving to flank either side of the Munificent. Okay, starting with Chimera. There's a navigate dial taking a token. Then Vonto is going to give me a concentrate fire token. And then I'm getting an extra click at the end here from take evasive action.
Okay, I'm activating the Providence, and it's a squadron dial, which I will be taking the token now. And I'm going to move, I'm using my, right, so Rune took a token from the Munificent, which was a navigate token, and I used that navigate token on my Providence so that I could slow down at speed 2, and I'm only going to turn it to 1 down here to go through Starport.
I think we're doing that correctly with Remako, guys. If not, let us know. But he discarded the nav from Munificent to then take a token, matching token on the Providence where Rune is at. Alright, then I think you're out of range, but we'll measure. There is a mine here. You are just out of range, so you don't set off your own mine. Whew. Okay, going with the Pursuant. It is a navigate, using it to speed up to 3. Using the dial to get an extra click here. Take evasive action, get an extra click here.
Alright, up to the Requisite now. And basically I had a concentrate fire dial, which I'm not able to use. And I cannot take the token because I already have a concentrate fire token already. So, I am going to be staying at speed 2 and going straight. Alright, now it's the Munificent's time. It's a squadron dial, which I'll be taking the token for right now. And I'm going to be flacking. I'll be flacking at Tempest, and I believe I can get one other one. Is that correct?
Yep, so he's got, since he does get a red flag, I misjudged that, I forgot about that. So I moved these guys too close. Tempest, he has double arc to be able to shoot it twice. Merrick once, and this defender once as well.
And just for it says not being mean enough to Ben, I didn't forget, I was watching.
Alright, which one are we doing first?
Alright, well, we're going to do the, let's do the frontal arc first.
Okay, into Tempest. It's a crit, so no damage.
Alright, then we'll do the side arc into Tempest.
It's a hit, so Tempest goes down to 4.
Alright, and then we do your defender, I believe.
It's a hit, goes down to 5. And Merrick.
And then Merrick will do fire.
Blank.
The Misfit is still moving at speed 1. So click at the 1. And I hit one of my vultures.
It's at the back corner, so I can make that big of a difference.
No, it'll be fine.
Alright, front goes there. Like I said, it's not going to make that big of a difference. I'll just put it like so. Okay. Squad phase. I'll show you movement where it matters, because it might. I'll turn the camera on if something does happen. Okay. So, we are going to be doing some action in the squad phase. My first 2 activations, Merrick and this defender, I moved back, keeping them within activation range of Chimera for next turn. Then Rob, he tapped Hyperwave Signal Boost, so he gets to activate 3 squads as if with AI, as if they'd been activated with a squad command. The first one he's sending in is this Vulture Droid that was back here to attack Tempest Squad. The other 2, I'm going to see if I can get the best wide-angle picture I can give you and then describe what happens, because one at a time. That's what he needs to do in the tournaments. And it's important to do it one at a time because you get the most information. I mean, that's the best way to play, not just because it's rules, but it's most advantageous for you. So I'll describe as best I can to describe what's going on the screen. All right, starting with blue-black. Then adding in a black. 2 hits. Tempest goes down to 2. And no swarm on this one because no one's in there helping him yet.
Right.
Alright, use your second activation.
My second will be the one behind the Tri-Fighter there, the Vulture Droid. I believe I can get up to Tempest.
So the screen that you guys are watching there, this will be on the starboard side of Munificent. The Vulture Droid that's behind the Tri-Fighter named Squad. It is moving forward. There.
Yep, right there, so I'm right next to
basically going up next to his buddy to attack Tempest, who only has 2 health left. And will get swarmed this time. Everybody is there.
Yep.
Starting Excuse me, starting with blue black.
And I'll be adding a.
Currently, no hits.
I'll be adding in a black.
1 hit. Then which one do you want to swarm?
I will swarm a black, the blank.
Tempest goes down. Okay, and what's the third one?
The third one will be the Tri-Fighter. And I'm going to Tri-Fighter right up behind those two vultures.
Okay, so just moving up, no attacks.
No attack.
Okay. Rest of the squad phase, unless Rob decides to fly up in the face of my guys that haven't gone yet, I'm not planning on doing that. So it'll all just be movements, so we'll be back at the start of round 4. Unless Rob surprises me, then I'll turn the camera back on. Start of round 4. Thrawn dial has been revealed. Squadron command. Activating, take evasive action. At the end of round 3, Rob uses squadron command to re-up hyperwave signal boost. And you can see the final positions of squads. My squads just all stayed still after that. Rob's squads moved forward, the hyena bomber staying back here. And first casualty was Tempest squad because I was foolishly moved him too far forward. So I'm going to be careful to not do that in the future. Okay, starting with Chimera, it is a navigate. And then using Thrawn's squad dial, that happening first. The first squad I'm activating, I've already moved him. This defender here moving up to attack the hyena bomber and is off by himself. And just to tell you what I will be doing next is that Merrick Steele will then be moving up behind him and just slightly to the side to throw a bombing run into the front, and then Jenin will be going up behind him to have him attack again. And then after that, Chimera will then be doing a front-to-front shot into Munificent at long range. Okay, first up, the defender going after the hyena bomber. 2 blue and 2 black. Wow. Complete whiff. It's not a good omen.
Ouch.
And did you want to activate him and counter back?
There's no activating. He's automatically. Oh, yes, sure. Oh, yeah, I'm going to activate him now, right?
Okay, so counter 3 back with TI-99. 3 damage back. Yeah. He goes down to 2. Oh, there's. You can miss with any dice, apparently. That was pretty awful. Okay. Then Merrick coming in. Okay. Merrick coming in to the front of the Munificent. 2 blue dice. And then I'll use his ability to turn this to a crit as well, so crit, crit.
I will use the title Salnada.
You have to be moving at speed 2 or faster to
And I
use
will
it.
not be using that. I think what I'll do is do a salvo back. Take the 2 on the shield.
Okay, shields down to 2, salvo back for 1 hit. Merrick still takes 1 damage.
2 attacks for salvo.
No, not against squads. When you salvo, you use your anti-squad on it.
Oh.
When you're salvoing against squads. And then Jenin coming in, staying out of range of the vultures, and telling Merrick Steele to attack again. And just use his ability again. Crit, crit.
Alright, this time I'll be redirecting
Which side?
to the side of the bomb, the port side of the bombers.
Okay, support side goes down to 1. I'm not going to activate another defender. I'm going to save it for whenever Pursuit can do it and give the benefit to flight controllers. Okay, so now for the long range attack, I will still shoot the front. From the Chimera, 4 reds. No other modifications, this is just going to be straight up. I will stop your brace. 2 damage.
Take out the shield.
Okay, front shield's down. Okay, and moving at speed 3 with my nav, getting extra click here, take evasive action, extra click at the 3. To the outside, Just to show you guys where everybody went afterwards. There's Merrick Steele, there's Colonel Jendon, where they went, and then the horrible defender pilot that needs to be severely disciplined, completely whiffing, shooting at a bomber squad.
Alright, the Magnificent is up next. It is a squadron dial, which I'll be taking the token. And I'm going to be taking a side shot on the starboard side, right into the starboard side of the Chimera. And then I will be flattening out on the port side, right along, straight line across all of his guys.
Okay, what are we starting with?
Let's start with side into the Chimera.
Okay, so 3 red, side to side, long range. Got hit, crit, blank.
Alright, I'll use the focus fire token I have to reroll.
To hit.
Fine by me.
I will brace to 2. I will redirect all of it to my port side with advanced projectors, and then I will salvo, and with flat guns, my blue dice can go up to long range. 2 blue and a red. I will leave it. Crit. 3 hits. 3 hits total, but crit, hit, hit.
First one, take that out. I will, okay, over there, I will brace it. And then I'll take it down to 2. And that's going to be my side back, which I have
3 shields.
I'll take out the shields.
Alright, shields down to 1 on his starboard, shields down to 1 on my port. Okay, so now flacking. 1 red. We'll start with the defender. That's on 2 health. That is a worthless pilot. Blank. Then Merrick Steele, who is on 5 health remaining. Crit, no damage. And then Colonel Jendon. Crit, no damage.
And I'm going to be 1 click over here at the 1.
I'm hitting that defender.
Hit the defender. Whoa, and talk about barely missing the destroyer.
Yep, also very close maneuvering here going on part of the
Calculating
Separatists. I'm going to actually keep him back here with the Unabomber. No, I'm actually going to do this instead. I take that back. Keep him obstructed from the Recusant so we can't flak him. Okay, going with Pursuant, it's a Navigate, and then using Thrawn's squad dial. I'll be getting all 4 defender squads that were up here. Moved the first one already. Moving over here, staying just at distance 1 of these 2 Vulture droids, staying outside of the Afrock, and then these 4 will also be following suit. Just staying in the perimeter, trying to take out these perimeter droids, but staying out of range of the Afrock so I'm not getting damaged. Alright, first defender starts with 2 blue, 2 black. I'm going on the far left Vulture droid that he is engaged with. It is dead. Did you want to do the TF to counter back?
yeah. That's also dead.
Yep, that is one of those where then, man, your counter's been good. And Swarm?
Yes, it is.
Alright, 3 damage back. Alright, the next defender coming in. Going at the next Vulture in the line. I'm actually going to move him to the next one that's in the line on your left-hand screen, but not in range of his buddy, so he doesn't get swarmed. I should have thought of that the first time, so that he can't at least get rerolls. Alright, starting with 2 blue, 2 black. 2 hits so far. And then Flight Commander, or Flight Controllers. 3 hits, it goes down. Then TFing, I'm assuming.
Yep.
2 hits, but no swarm this time because I stayed out of range.
Yep.
So far, this TF tactic is working. You're putting a lot of damage on my defenders. Then the next defender in the line, moving down, same thing. Getting in range of the next Vulture droid on the left there. That's directly in front of the Afrock, but staying out of range of the Afrock and any other partners so it can't get swarmed. Starting with 2 blue, 2 black. Again, just 2. Man, my dice have been very not cooperating. And flight controllers helps. Got it. But it's still getting it. And then TFing back. 1 damage this time, fortunately. Yeah, this is actually turning out to be a pretty good card, that TF99.
Yeah, I like the TF9, I really do. He's a good card.
Yeah. And then the last defender doing the last thing, except he's, if you guys can see on the screen, there's another vulture behind the Afrock, and he's going to be moving all the way to that left side. And again, just staying distance 1 away from the or beyond distance 1 of the Afrock, but within distance 1 of the vulture. And plenty of speed to do so. That's the joy of defenders with speed 5. They can have such extreme ranges that they can move. Allows you to dictate their attack distances. Alright, let's see if we can go 4 for 4. Starting with 2 blue, 2 black. And got it on that. And then
3 back.
TFing back.
Yep.
3 damage. Yep, your vultures have dropped, but they have done excellent work for sure. Okay, maneuvering, staying at 3. I'm actually not using the dial, just went to waste. I did not take a token when I revealed it. Thought I might need it, didn't. That's okay. Planning those just in case.
Alright, next up is the represent. There's an engineering dial, which I'll be taking an engineering token. And then I will be flacking out the front. It's my only shot. I have no shots currently. So, and after that we'll move.
Yes. Alright, who are we flacking first?
I'm going to flag up right down the row. Start closer to the front.
Okay, Merrick Steele, he has 5 health left. Crit, no damage.
Yep.
And then Colonel Jendon. Hit. Colonel Jendon takes the damage, goes down.
Okay, the
Requisite's
moving. That's what you're. And I'm looking at the 2 only. And hopefully it will be still calculated correctly. And missing
the debris field. He did run over Merrick Steele and Colonel Jendon, so I'll be placing them. Not activating. Already activated. As close to the shield out as I can get. And then Jendon right beside him. Like so.
Alright. Moving to Providence. I slowed down using a navigation dial. I slowed down to 1. I had no shots. And moved up there.
Yeah, and he was actually just out of, he's double black for flacking, he was actually just out of Colonel Jendon range to flak, so no flak shots either.
Now, let's see if I'm within close.
Oh, you're easily in that mine.
So let's see what happens here.
Alright, 2 blue dice, I'm just going to roll here, not going to go to the tray.
Take damage.
And you take face down damage cards for each hit or crit.
If I take crit.
And crit is face up. So that's going to be 2 damage to the hull, first one face up.
Yep.
Probably the worst. It is the worst possible result.
No, 2 crits are worse.
Well, you can't get 2 critical effects, but that's alright. Crew Panic. Before you reveal a command dial, you must either suffer 1 damage or discard it. But you can take that damage on shields, so.
Yeah.
Other than that, you haven't been touched. No big deal. Alright.
Roger.
That's it for all ships. We have 3 squads left, which are Rob's. We'll see if he wants to do the hyperwave signal boost to activate them, and we'll be back if he does. Okay, Rob is doing the hyperwave signal boost, and he activated first the vulture that was here, and is moving back here to attack the 2 health defender. We'll do that first, and I'll describe where the Afro. Alright, starting with blue back.
With AI.
Hit. And then, which one do you want to add in with AI?
I'll add in a black, please.
Blank. And no swarm, because no one's in engagement with him. Alright, so that defender is on 1 health.
So the next one in.
The other vulture.
Yeah. It'd be nice if we take over his ships.
Based on your vultures are fine. They're getting better than my defenders were. Complete garbage. Alright. Blue black to start. Got him. Defender goes down. Alright, where's the Afrock going?
Let's go by the bomber. I mean the hyena. And let's shoot at Gender Man.
Alright, come on behind the Munificent. You see Colonel Jenin on the back right there. Want to be in range at Merrick Steel as well, or just Colonel Jenin?
Just Jenin. Don't need Merrick range.
Staying out of Merrick range. The Afrock. We'll get disco dice to start. Here's Jendon's defense tokens. You will get a swarm benefit because the Hyena Bomber is. They don't have swarm?
Wait, no, they don't. Hyenas don't have swarm.
No, I'm talking about Afrock.
Afrock does.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're friendly.
Oh, that's right.
Doesn't matter if your friendly has swarm, as long as you have a friendly ship and engagement range. Or squad. And the Hyena is, and yeah. So you will get swarm with this. 2 accuracies and a hit. What color do you want to add in with AI?
We'll add in the black, please.
2 hits, 2 accuracies. That's about as best you could ask for.
Yep. Obviously, accuracy, both braces, and give it 2 hits.
And it goes down to 3. That's the best that you could hope for. Alright, that is it for round 4. We'll be back at the start of round 5. Okay, round 5. Thrawn has revealed another squadron dial. I forgot last turn to do Vanto. I said in my head, don't forget to do Vanto. I forgot. So I was not able to give myself a nav token. But fortunately I have the flexibility that I just switched with Chimera to intensify firepower and activated it with my con fire token I had. And Rob decided to discard his intensify firepower to activate that for this round, so we both have intensify going on.
Because I also forgot.
Yeah, he forgot to move to use Rune to give himself the con fire token. So several things we're forgetting, but we're not helping each other, and if we make mistakes, we just have to live with it. So just try to be in practice with that. Hyperwave Signal Boost was refreshed with his squad token.
That I didn't remember.
Yes. Okay, activating Pursuant first. It is a Navigate. I will be using that dial. And using Thrawn's squad dial. I'm going to be grabbing all 4 of these defenders. And just to describe what they're going to be doing. All 4 of them, since it has been freed up, are going to be going into the front of the Munificent with no shields and doing bombing runs. Then I'm expending my disposable capacitors to do a long range front to front shot into the front of the Munificent. That will be happening as well. And I could do then an obstructed long range into Recusant, but it's not worth throwing 1 blue. It's just going to be inviting a salvo back potentially. Well, no, it wouldn't be salvo, but it's still not worth it. I'm not going to even waste time doing it. Okay, starting with the first defender coming in, just to give you guys just a reminder of the update. Munificent has no shields on the front and only 1 shield on each side. No damage on the hull yet. Hopefully about to change. First defender coming in. These are bombers, so accuracies don't help. Man, my forces were not ready for this. Second defender. Crit.
But I will take it on the port side.
Okay, so redirect to port side. Okay. Third defender. Didn't realize you had number there. Let's try to get this actually in the tray. There's an accuracy. And fourth defender. It is a crit.
See, that's how your defenders are going.
Yeah.
You missed, high hit. Okay.
Yeah. They're getting very not good.
Not good. I will. Just gotta take it.
Okay, face up.
That's true. Come on. Yeah, there.
Taking it?
Yep, taking it.
Comms noise. I can reduce your speed by 1 or choose a new command on your top command dial. Speed is going to 0. So no defense tokens for my Quasar shot that's about to come in. That was lovely. Just put my defense tokens back. I was prepared for some salvos back. Hope you planned to nav. Actually, I hope you didn't plan to nav. Alright, 3 blue disposable capacitors. Let me shoot out this far. 3 hits, so 3 damage.
Get there about it.
Yep. And 2 health remaining. That was very fortuitous. I don't think I've ever seen that happen where a squad drops the ship and then you get to hit it with your actual carrier. That was actually interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, using my nav dial to slow down to 2, getting the extra click at the 1, swinging out like so. Just to avoid ramming into the Chimera.
Alright, now the Magnificent is activated. It is a squadron dial, which I will be using. And I activated, right now as you see, we'll be activating 2 more in a minute. But I activated the Hyena Bomber right there in front of the Chimera.
Let me move from back here up to there.
Now I'll activate 2 more in a moment after the Hyena goes.
Okay, Hyena Bomber coming in, starting off with 1 red into the front. So you guys know Chimera has lost 2 shields on the port side for my advanced projector redirect. Other than that, it's untouched. Starting off good. And then AI. Wow. Okay.
Alright.
I will just redirect that. I'm using advanced projectors fun. Drop my port shields, take 1 off the front, take 1 off the back. So the vulture you guys see on the far right of your screen is flying over to engage Jendon. Jendon is currently at 3 health remaining and is engaged with the Frog, so he will get swarm on this. Blue-black to start.
Yep. And we're to...
Can't hit the dice tray for some reason. Keep missing.
So my defender.
Yep. Is really bad. Alright, what do you want to add?
I'll add a black, please. Yep, add a black.
Blank.
No.
Swarm.
Oh, yep, swarm.
Alright, race to 2. He's got 1 health left.
Alright, I'm going to send in the other vulture. Attack him as well.
Just need a hit. Race doesn't matter now. Jendon goes down. Yep. Now, where are your shots going?
My side shot is from the starboard side into the Chimera starboard side.
Okay, so 3 red.
Yep.
Hit, blank.
And that's my firepower.
So 3 hits.
3 hits.
I will brace. And I will redirect. So I'll take 1 off the front and just take 1 off the side that got hit. So front and side are down to 2. Then I will salvo back. You have 1 shield there and 2 health remaining. And since you can't defend this, I will then also use my own Intensify to take you out. 1 on the shield and then 2 on the... Alright, going with Thrawn on the Chimera. It's a Navigate. I do have the Thrawn squad out, not any range of anything, so I'm going to take that as a token. And then Vonto, I'm going to take a Concentrate Fire token. And the only shots I got is I do have flak out the front onto this Hyena Bomber, and then I'm going to take a long-range pot shot side to side into the Recusant. 2 red. Recusant is untouched, so this will just be 2 reds coming in. Oh, I'll take that. Stop your evade.
Okay, I'll salvo back. I'm just going to take the damage on the shield.
Just going to take it on the shield. Alright. 1 red back for an accuracy.
Just want to shine some lights on things. That's by firepower. Yep.
And I'll just take it on the shield. Shield goes down to 1.
Late damage back and forth.
Okay, and I didn't forget the flak. Whatever, it's late. I'll live with it. No, it might not be this strict, but I mean, I forgot to do my flak shot. Whatever. Get an extra click here from the nav dial and dropping to speed 2. Like so. Barely staying on the board.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah.
Okay, Rob's got the Recusant. It is a Navigate. I didn't forget to mention Crewmate is active.
Yep.
So, and he's going to be doing a long range front to side into my Quasar, long range side to side into the Chimera. Alright, starting with the shots on the Chimera, I only have 1 shield on that side left. 3 reds coming in. double crit blank.
Okay, well, alright, so I am going to use Shimei to re-roll the blank.
Okay. Hit. So 4 damage. Yep, I will burn the brace to 2. Burn a redirect, sending them both to my front. Actually, I send one to my front, one to my back, so my back shields go down. Burn my salvo, send one back. There's his defense tokens. You have 2 shields left there. You're untouched, but, you know, as much damage on you as I can. Relatively untouched. Oh, I'll take that. 3 damage.
First of all, I'm going to use the evade on your crit. Make
Okay.
you reroll that.
Cancel, long range.
Cancel, sorry, long range, yep, combat. And then I will brace because you have nothing else coming at me.
Okay.
Brace to 1.
Okay.
And then I'll redirect to the front shield.
Yep, so front shield goes down by 1. Alright, so that's it for Chimera. Get these shields done, if I don't forget. Alright, then front to side into the Quasar. The Quasar is untouched, has not been attacked yet. I have a question. Okay. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. That's a wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with this, it's so big. I think I'll stop your brace because I want to take all full damage, 4 damage. I'm gonna on the shield.
Yep. Redirect, front and side shields down. That was a really strong hit. Really strong hit.
Is now moving at speed 2. I took the extra click at the 1. Did I hit yes or
No, just cleared it.
Alright, next up is Providence. And we'll be flacking is the only one thing we have to do at the moment.
What's the dial?
On Merrick. The dial is focus. Oh, yeah, concentrate fire. So we got 2 black, just in range.
It's gonna do it here. Top moving. 2 hits. Brace to 1. Goes down to 4.
I'm like,
Oh, you want to use concentrate on this?
yeah, might as well.
Yep, might as well. Black. Brace to 2.
Yep.
Your anti-squatting has been efficient, that's for sure.
That is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Roger. Alright, now the Providence is moving next. And we're just going forward, and we're going to click at the 1 onto the debris field.
And take this mine.
Okay, we'll take the shields off the debris first. We'll do the back.
Back shields go to 0. And then the mine attack. You know, I mean, you're not going to die. But
No, but everything matters.
the satisfaction of, you know, that your own mines are hitting you. Just a hit, so 1 face down.
Yep.
Alright, squad phase. You just have the Afrock and Merrick Steel. Afrock is not engaged with anyone, he'll just be doing some movement. Merrick Steel is engaged with that Vulture squad, so he will be attacking. Okay, 2 blue, 2 black for Merrick. 3 hits, Vulture goes down. Fortunately, your counter ship is gone. Oh, you remember.
And Grievous. So Grievous will. Doesn't really matter. It's the end of the round.
Right, yeah, so Grievous doesn't matter. Reserve finger deck does matter.
Yes.
Yes. So where is he coming back at?
He's come back out of the Providence then.
Alright, I'll show you where he's placed at the start of round 6. Okay, start of round 6. Last Thrawn dial of a squadron. Intensify firepower activated for the final round. I guess I actually don't need to do the token, I could just discard it because it is the final round, doesn't matter. And this is where the Vulture came out on this side of the Providence, and the Afrock just scooted forward to engage Merrick Steele, so he is going nowhere.
And you do not have intensified firepower.
Yep, intensified firepower was discarded last turn, so no intensify for Rob. Alright, we're starting with the Pursuant. It is a Navigate. I'm using Thrawn's dial. For squads, I'll be using both. Activating all of these defenders here. I'm just gonna show you guys what my plan is where I move them, but I am going to be doing them one at a time to try to make it legitimate. This defender first is going to be going way out here to this recently resurrected squad and attacking it to try to take it out. At least two of the defenders are going to go after this Hyena Bomber while staying in range of Commander Woldar so I can get rerolls, try to take it out. Hopefully I can get with just one. It only has 4 health. And then potentially going over here to maybe try to grab this Vulture, or more likely going all out to try to take out the Afrock, and then with Merrick in the squad phase, because the Afrock can't be rezzed, so, and he's worth 19 points. I'm not going to take my shot that I can take here, because I'm not going to risk the salvo back, because my shields are down on the side and front, and I am going to be taking a pretty big hit from this Recusant, and I don't want to give him any more additional shots on me. Okay, starting with my defender that's on the right front, it has 3 health remaining, and sending him over to attack the Vulture Droid that was just rezzed by the Providence. It has 2 health remaining. For starting with 2 blue, 2 black, and got it. That Vulture goes down.
And the Recusant will use its research time phase.
Okay, where are you putting it?
And I'll put it on the front corner by the I'll actually put it in the asteroid. I'll put it in the front of the asteroid on the corner of the destroyer. Or
So on the front of the asteroid.
Yes, between that and the right in that. That way, yep. Shows actually within. Is there any way I can get it within 1 click and still be within range of?
Yeah, or you want it to be able to do a shot in squad phase or something?
Yep.
Okay. And that's where you want it?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yep, that's what I was put. Yep.
Alright, so next, just so you know, guys, it's at the front left corner in between the Recusant and the Quasar within attack range of the Quasar. Okay, I'm going to take the far left defender now on your screen. He is going to go attack the Hyena Bomber, getting just within 1, while still remaining in distance 3 of the Quasar so I can get a reroll. This Hyena is full health. Starting with 2 blue, 2 black. These Hyena Bombers, look at this hot garbage. Unbelievable. Flight controllers. Look at this. What is this crap? Commander Woldar. 1 hit. Unbelievable. This is ridiculous. So he's down to 3 health remaining. Gosh, that's not even good enough to kill him with flacking. My goodness. Alright, I'm going to send the 4 health defender to go do the same thing. I mean, apparently this Hyena Bomber is untouchable. Like, you know, got an invincibility shield on or something. So, 2 blue, 2 black. It's got 3 health remaining. 2 hits. Flight controllers. Commander Woldar. How many blanks can I roll with my defenders on black dice? Look at that. Still alive on 1 health. Unbelievable. Well, Chimera try to kill it with flak on its turn. That is insane. And then, and you guys did it here. I quadruple checked with Rob.
Yeah.
This Ultra Droid is in my double arc, and I will be flacking at it. 2 shots. First shot. Miss. Second shot. Miss. Doesn't matter. Apparently, these Vulture Droids are... Oh, and then this defender coming over to attack the Afrock. Staying out of Vulture Droid range. But in Afrock range, if I don't kill it, it will take a damage. But this is a full health defender. So starting with 2 blue, 2 black, and let me get his defense.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
Ooh. Alrighty. Now I hit. So far, accuracy 3 hits. I mean, if I'm going to do it, this is the one to do it on. And then we will flight controllers in a blue. And cannot reroll that. So, that's what you got coming in.
Yep, brace it.
Brace it to 2, so 1 health remaining, and then counter back with 2.
No, that's a 3 counter, so
Counter 3?
That's a counter 2. That's a counter 2.
It is counter 2.
Sorry, my bad.
For 1 damage. Okay, using my nav to slow down to speed 1 and getting an extra click at the 1, basically swinging my butt out so that my shields are on the arc that I'm going to be getting hit from the Recus.
Alright, so now up comes the Providence. There's an engineering dial. It does have a squad token, which it will be using as well. The engineering dial cleared off the face-up damage card, which was a crew damage. Excuse me. And I will be activating with the token the Afrak to attack Merrick. And maybe some. No, I don't think I can flak anybody. If I can flak, I will.
Alright, the Afrak starts with Disco Dice.
Yep.
Merrick has 3 health left. There's 3 damage. What do you want to add in?
I'll add in a blue, please.
Okay, 4 damage. Raise to 2, 1 health remaining.
Alright, next will be the flacking out on both sides. So we're flacking out Merrick first. 2 black.
Merrick's dead.
Alright, and then on the defender.
Defender on the port side, yeah, 3 health, can't kill him, but just 1 damage goes down to 2.
Providence is now moving up speed 1. Gonna double click at the 1. On the off chance it misses.
Still landed on the debris field. Take some shield damage here.
Yep.
Okay, going with Chimera. It is a navigate. Surprise, surprise. Squad command can't use squad token. All squads have been activated and or dead. I am not shooting at the Recusant. It's not worth taking the salvo back. I'm not going to kill it with 2 red dice. I'm going to do double black flat with my flat guns. I do have black dice with the flat guns. That's what it converts them to. See if I can't kill this annoying hyena. And I do.
Oh, the hero of the interpretive.
Finally goes down. I don't know who was piloting that. That was ridiculous. And we'll just move here. I'm going to use my nav. Speeding up to speed 3. Just moving. An extra click at the 1. Just moving away. Like so.
Alright, up next is the Recusant. It is firing the front arc into the aft arc of the Quasar.
Just a command.
And the side, let me just finish this.
Oh,
the side arc into the aft arc of the Chimera. The command is focus fire, and I will be using focus fire token and the engineering.
Okay, what are we doing with engineering?
Okay, engineering, I will be. I have some sheet on me. You have nobody left to move, do you?
Yeah, this is the end of the game. After this shot, the game's over.
Nah,
Yeah.
but I will use the focus fire.
Alright, who are we attacking first?
Oh, let's go after the Quasar first. That will be 3 red, 2 blue.
2 red, 2 blue. Quasar has taken no hull damage, but no shields on the right or front, 1 shield on the back, 2 shields on the port. And you're just getting exactly what you need.
So the Quasar is the one closest to the port, right?
This is Quasar's fence token.
Oh, it's right there. Okay, I thought that was.
No.
Well, lock them both down. Lock them both down. I'm gonna add in a die first. Sorry, my bad. I'll add in a red.
Blank.
I will use my token to reroll it.
double.
Alright, so lockdown, the brace can't let every.
Yeah, this is bad. So take 1, 4. I don't think it kills me. Oh man, if I get a structural. Let's see. So I'm taking 4. First one face up. Structural. Screw panic. Not gonna matter because there's no more command else to do. I've taken 4 damage, 2 health remaining. Wow. Almost got me.
Almost.
Then long range shot.
In the side. Yep, in the back. Yep, from that side.
Side rear, Chimera. Triple crit.
Wow.
I will spend this to redirect it to the remainder of my shields, and then take 1 face up because I don't have 2 shields remaining all over the ship. And that is comms noise. You can reduce my speed by 1.
Oh right, I do. You did to me.
Yeah, speed goes down to 2. All right.
And now I'll just move forward and ram the Quasar just because, well, you guys told me not to be nice.
Yeah, I got lucky there. If that ram takes me down to 1 health remaining. Almost killed me. You just need 1 more damage. I mean, that was an incredible roll that he had. Last thing, got this vulture here. If you want to throw just a quick. I'm not going to kill the destroyer, but I guess just for insult.
Yes, insult
dice. 1 hit, so take 1 on the hull, and all right, and that is it, guys. So that was a bit of a slow roll. It's gonna be a low point scoring game, but we'll add up the points, and then we'll be back at the post game interview. All right, so there we have it. That was a long game. Right, we actually started. This is filming this during a weekday,
right?
So we started late, and now it's really late, so we kind of get burned out there a little bit.
Yeah, the end.
And a bit of a slower rolling game, delaying engagement. We'll talk about that in a second. But for the points, which I'm sure are interested in,
which is important for them too.
Yes. Yeah. So the Separatists earned 70 points, and the Imperials earned 128. Which is a margin of victory of 58 points. And I looked that up. That makes it a 7-3 margin of victory. I didn't realize you could get a 7-3 with that low of a margin of victory. 50 is the cutoff for 6-5. So
really?
51.
I just got it. Nice.
Yes, 51 to whatever makes 7-3. So if this were a tournament, I would have gained 7 tournament points, and Rob, you would gain 3.
Yep.
So there you have it. So, Rob, you want to discuss the game?
Wow. Okay, so besides the lateness and all that stuff, which probably affected us near the end a little more than anything else, but no, I enjoyed it. I really did. It was weird, as I told Ben, because usually he and I are chit-chatting throughout the end, the middle, or between cuts and stuff, and it was almost by the library. And we were trying not to give each other hints. I'm biting my tongue. He's trying to bite his. He's looking away. Stuff like that. So it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird from an all play, but it was a lot of fun. I took a lot of stuff that I learned from you then that I put into practice, and I mean, the only thing is I had to learn how to use that Providence better, how to fly it better.
That's the games that are right now. You just send it
way out there.
It's just out just having fun.
Yeah,
it doesn't want to be part of the battle.
It's trying to be the party boat, but it's not there yet. But no, but the destroyer and the Magnificent did great, even though the Magnificent died at the end. TI-99, yes, 99. He made huge difference on when Ben sent his fighters in. I mean, that bomber alone didn't take any damage, took 3 points damage to your defender.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, the counters back from that TI-99 was insane.
Love that card now, more than before.
Very effective.
Yeah. But, I mean, I loved everything I did. I mean, I loved the whole entire thing. I mean, except for, like I said, some of the movement things, and, forgetting about doing intensified firepower, there we go. And one of my reserve hangar decks earlier, and I probably could have saved the Providence maybe 1 turn, maybe a little bit longer. Might need to take an extra shot at it with a defender or something maybe. But if I remember, like Grievous could have helped out for every droid fighter that died. But hey, like I said, I haven't used this that much. I enjoyed it though. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes were made, things missed, especially because Rob and I weren't reminding each other off camera.
Yeah.
That happens a lot on these Batreps that you guys don't see. We're reminding each other about cards that we have and upgrades and stuff. So we weren't doing that, and as you saw, a lot of things were missed. And so I'm sure you guys, somebody might have been screaming at us, like, "Oh, reserve your deck! Come on, Rob!
What you doing?
Grievous, I forgot Mantle once. I forgot to use my engineering token to heal the Chimera some shields. Fortunately, at the end of the game, I couldn't die, but it was one of those, I just need to remember to do that just in case lucky shots come in or whatever. The overall strategy I employed worked. What I was intending to do happened, and that was to prevent Rob from hitting me with the bulk of his firepower. And so that's why I deployed at that corner and then stayed at that corner. And the major strategic mistake I made is me moving my squads too far forward. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't need to do that. I should have just kept them back out of Rob's range. And there was no need for me to have them that far forward. I think it was round 3. When Rob then in the squad phase used a hyperwave thing to go forward and take out Tempest squad. So I should have kept them back. I didn't need to. They would have had plenty of range to move forward the next turn when I was planning to activate squads. And so that's just a strategic mistake on my part. And I probably could have saved one Tempest and also been more judicious with Merrick Steele and Colonel Jendon instead of sending them out basically for one attack salvo and then they let them high and dry. And they were out of range for Chimera to activate them. I need to keep them closer to Chimera so they can or even just the Quasar so they can be activated and actually be useful.
Well, I think the hyperwave signal boost was the new card for you. I don't think have you ever played against or used it?
No, I mean I knew what it could do. I knew you were going to come at me, and
but
so it was one of those. I shouldn't have moved my squads that far forward. That was I knew they were going to die as soon as I did it.
And you're also used to me playing low. So not as fast flying squadrons, So that might have been a little bit of a factor too. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, a little. It doesn't matter what I'm playing against. Putting my squads forward like that invites the opponent to just come at them and get them first. So because I have the speed, there's no reason for me ever to move my squads forward like that. I need to always keep them back until I'm ready to actually strike, because I have the speed to move them up and do the damage. So that's just an overall list strategic aspect of my list. I need to be disciplined with my squads to keep them back and out of range, and not even close out of range, well out of range until I'm ready to strike, because I can do that with the speed of my squadrons. One thing that I did make I made a choice to do it. I think it was round 3 actually. When I did my move for Chimera, I swung way out because I wanted to get out of range of the Recusant, and it worked. Yeah. But by doing so, I didn't turn hard enough, so I never got a single good shot out of my front. Now, the trade-off is that Rob never got a good shot on me. Nope. But I also didn't get a good shot on him. I was able to eventually drop the Munificent. That was my goal, was drop the Munificent, get the points for that, and then just not lose any ships was my goal. And what I wanted to do was then be able to turn the Chimera in, and then to do front shots onto the Recusant and probably drop it with 2 good rounds of that. But because I chose to swing out to get out of its range for round 3, I couldn't. The angle was not right where I was never able to get my front arc back in play. So that was just a trade-off. If I would have chosen to turn harder in, you would have gotten more solid shots on me, and Chimera might have been in danger of going down. So it was a trade-off. And I think, I'm going to go with what you guys think. Would you have turned in harder to go for to try to get the kill, or I think it, based on what I was facing, the superior firepower I was facing, I think that was the right choice to swing out wide, deny the shots, and just keep everything at range that you can actually hit me with everything. Now I got very lucky at the end with the Quasar.
One more point.
Yeah, one more point, and he would have been able to ram me and kill me as opposed to ram me and put me on 1 health. That was just...
That might have swung the game a little bit.
No, it would have. The Quasar is 73 points.
Oh,
Margin of victory was 58, so you would have won.
Yeah.
And that actually, I think that might have been like a tie then, or no,
Yeah.
you would have gotten to 6-5 or something. But that would have been like a 3-point swing tournament points wise if that Quasar would have gone down. So that was very fortunate that he didn't. Got lucky on that one. So let me know what you think, guys, of this format, and hope it's you're gonna get at least a few more of these, but. If you like this, I really would like to get a lot more, so I can practice, and let me know if that's something you guys want to see over the next 4 or 5 weeks leading up to the tournament. Submit your list to Rob. I'm going to put his contact info in the description below.
Yes.
For him or Robbie to run against me, and submit the most brutal list you can, and it's probably going to be through email.
Yep.
Converse with Rob, tell him how to run it. If you want to like set up a chat or something,
right?
So you can talk with him to talk about the strategy behind it. Because it might be a list Rob's never seen before. It's like, right. What am I supposed to do with this?
I don't know.
So,
or if I have to convey to Robbie too. So
yes. So discuss the strategy and tactics behind it. Do it behind my back. I don't want to know because I want to make sure that I'm arriving whenever I do these practice games with no knowledge.
And I
just like it would be if I was when I'm at the tournament.
Right.
So
cheesy, go hard, go for
tournament
the throat, go for the throat.
Yeah. Throw down what you would bring to a tournament if you were going to win.
Yes.
Type of thing. So
and you see his build, you know what he's got.
Yeah, that one. And tailor it to beat my list. I want you. Don't act like I'm going to build a list not knowing. The reason why I'm being so open with the list I'm bringing is because I want people to tailor their list to my list, designed to beat it, and see if I can then still overcome it and still pull out a victory.
Yes.
So I want to test myself against lists that are specifically tailored to take my list out. So submit those lists to Rob. Again, link is in the description below, and it'll probably be on. You'll probably see it mine out here because I'll have that information at that point.
Yeah.
And so let me know what you thought of the battle. Let me know what you think about my list and my strategy. Like I said, the foundations of the list aren't going to change unless I get some
weird, beautiful unicorn.
Like, oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah, the unicorn comes out.
But I love the core of it because it's all my favorites. It's thematic. It's what I love, and it's what I know the best, and that's what I'm going to bring to my first tournament. So this week, because I'm familiar with it.
Remember, it does not be thematic against him, by the way.
Yeah, no, whatever you want. But mainly the missions, though. I really would like to know my mission picks, just in case I'm ever second player. If you think those are good ones for me to have, that limits my enemies and gives me the greatest advantage. So.
And I would like to say, Robbie, I'm sorry, because you're up next. And I think he's more concentrated now what he needs me not to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, Robbie won't see this.
Because
we're playing tomorrow, and this probably won't come out till Monday. So.
Anyway, I'm sorry anyway.
Posthumously, he's sorry.
You might be getting a more focused event tomorrow.
We'll see. He might bring a list that just devastates me, so we'll see how that plays out.
For the lessons you learned here.
Yeah. And for the giveaway, for all of these practice videos for the Venator, for the giveaway, and then whatever the giveaway will be in July, the questions in these practice videos will always be just discuss the strategy and tactics of my fleet and how I flew it, tournament prep, advice for first time going to a tournament. I'm counting this as a first time because it's been 4 years since Gen Con that I did it, and I was completely new at Armada at that point. So just, those of you guys have experience, just comment in the comments discussing all this will be part of the giveaway, entering you in. There's not going to be any specific questions for that. So, all that being said, thank you, Rob, for taking this on too. These are going to be some of the more, I don't want to say less enjoyable games, but not as, it's more fun when we can actually talk to each other and give each other advice and don't forget that this one, but it's important for us to be locked in, If we forget something, to stick with it and deal with it, and then you learn from it. Because you forget it, you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to forget that now.
We hope.
Or at least we hope. So, anyway, thanks for doing that. It was a great game. It was a tight game. It was close. You guys saw a very close game.
I mean, this is probably not the closest. We had a tie game.
We had a tie.
But that was the closest game.
Yeah.
But this was really good for me because I did not lose as much ships or bigger, as many. I really played it, besides the products, but I really played it. I played it well, I thought, and the squadrons, I learned from Ben, from past couple million Batrep by now, how to play squadrons. And yeah, when he dealt that Tempest out there, I'm sorry, Ben, but I was like,
Yeah.
you guys told me not to be mean. You guys told me to be mean.
No, that's right. You have disposable squads,
Take him out.
and Tempest Squad was sitting out there by himself, and
Yep.
went out and got him. That was
Alright.
you exploited the mistake, which is
Yep.
what you're supposed to do.
Yep. So
And
you guys
just-
told me not to be mean. I'm being mean.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And keep in mind, one more
Yeah.
point of damage, and that would have
Yeah.
swung the game to victory to Ryan.
Yeah.
So that's how close
we were.
and how close we were. So, thank you guys for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Post your advice, comments, tournament prep, whatever's, all that stuff in relation to I've said it 1,000 times, you know what I'm talking about. In the comments below.
You sound like me.
Yes.
In the GQ.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. So, until next time, guys, take it easy.